So to create that virtual machine, so it took around some 30 to 40 minutes. Okay, so when we started around 8:30 and it ended up by 9 o'clock. Okay, around 30 to 40 minutes it took us to create a virtual machine, install operating system. What if there is a request to create some 20 virtual machines? Okay, if you do one at a time, okay, it will take 20 hours. 20 hours means 3 business days. 8 hours you will work for a day. So if you continuously building also like 2 to 3 days you will be working on only VM creation only without doing any other work. Even if you run parallelly 2 or 3 at a time, at least one day you will take 8 hours, okay, to create 20 virtual machines. Here, the time consuming task was OS installation. To reduce this time to create virtual machines, VMware has developed another option called cloning. Okay, so duplicating an existing machine. Something like as simple as, let's say your friend has downloaded some new movie which has like 4 GB of size and it's a good copy is available next to you. You want, if you want that copy, okay, so you don't download that movie again, right? It will take 3 4 hours to download. Okay, so instead of downloading it again as a fresh copy, right? You'll just copy from your friend with pen drive, whatever it is. You just copy. So it's also same like that. Virtual machine is also software, right? Like just a file, set of files. Virtual machine. We have installed Windows Server 2060 and 4 GB RAM, 4 CPU, and 20 GB hard disk we have given. So virtual machine means .vmx, next .vmdk, next. What are all the files that makes virtual machine?
Flat
Without looking at your notes, just try to answer. We'll see like nothing wrong in
PMDK.
it. Flat.vmdk.
Mm.
NVRAM.
Direct directory file. Mhm.
Which one? .vswp.
Sir, BIOS.
BIOS is NVRAM file. That's that.
In
.log.
.log. Before and
VMSD. Yeah. So these files
VSWP.
makes,
Mm.
yeah, all are done. Thanks. Virtual machine means all these files. All these files makes a virtual machine and OS is installed. Where will that OS data will be saved? If I install some operating system inside that machine, where will be that data stored? In which file?
VMDK and flat VMDK.
The data will be, actual data will be stored?
VMDK.
Actual data.
Flat VMDK.
NVROM, sir.
Flat actual data, that
Flat
means
Index will be stored in VMDK and actual data will be stored in flat VMDK.
NVROM, sir.
so NVRAM is BIOS only. The data
BIOS.
will be stored in
Input.
flat.vmdk. NVRAM is like how to power on a computer. If you have
VMDK
instructions
flat.
to power on it. The actual data will be stored in flat.vmdk.
Flat at VMDK. Okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay, the operating system also stored inside. Now, like we will consider together as a single hard disk. So we don't need to segregate flat.vmdk and VMDK. When I say hard disk, just say VMDK. That's fine for now. Okay. So the operating system will be stored inside the VMDK, the hard disk. Together we call it as one hard disk VMDK file. Now this is a file only, right? If you can copy these files, copy paste. These files makes a virtual machine, right? So that means your machine will be ready if you can copy paste these files. Now another virtual machine is ready, and what OS will be there inside?
Windows 2016.
16 or 19?
16.
Sure.
Sure.
16 only before we install.
Only because that same data it was there in right. We are just
Same.
copy pasting. So if you're copying a movie from your friend, you get the same
Same
copy.
OS
It's
will
not
be
any.
the.
Thanks. Okay. So virtual machine with the Windows Server 2016. If you can copy paste. So you don't need to individually go and copy each file. There is some what do you call it? It's a technique called cloning, an option called cloning. So if you do that, right click virtual machine, clone, it will create another virtual machine. In the backend, these files will be copy pasted from the hard disk location. They will be copy pasted and it makes another virtual machine. Okay, so that's what we are doing here. Do copying an existing virtual machine. Fine. And you can ask me now, like in which condition can I clone? The virtual machine is already running, powered on and running. Powered on means running. Okay. So can I clone now? Yes. Powered off. Can I clone now? Yes. Okay. So when you clone when it is running, it's called hot clone. Cold clone. Remember hot and clone? Hot and clone. So it will be very useful. Many times we will repeat it. If you clone when the virtual machine is in power off condition, it's called cold clone. If you clone when the virtual machine is on and running, hot clone. So hot means power on condition, cold means power off condition. In the future, we will discuss about hot migration and cold migration. Okay, so hot means
On.
when the virtual machine is running itself, powered on itself, we migrate it. Cold means so we'll get multiple times hot. Okay, almost 3 to 4 times we'll get during our course. Three different VHS with the same hot and cold. Okay, they will ask. So they'll ask also even during interview what is hot clone, what is cold clone. So hot means when a virtual machine when it is powered on and running. Powered on state of the virtual machine. If you do anything, that's called hot. Particular task. Okay. What is the difference? Maximum 2 to 5 minutes time difference only will be there. Otherwise, nothing will be there. Nothing, no difference at all. It exactly copy paste everything. Okay. So this virtual machine powered on and running, you are trying to copy. It is trying to place some new data. Powered on and running means something new data is copying inside that machine. You are trying to copy this data and new data is coming in again. So it takes some 2 to 5 minutes extra than cold clone. Cold means power off itself. Nothing is writing inside the machine. Everything is stable. Your copy paste until you copy this page, copy paste. That there is no new data, so it will complete fast. Okay, cold clone will complete faster than hot clone. Another thing, if you have any data inside the operating system, let's say if it is having only OS, that's fine, it will be there. For some reason, let's say there is some SQL database installed. Clone, will it come here or not?
No.
If you are cloning this machine, database was installed here. If you clone this machine, will SQL carry here or not?
And it is that coming right, so the skill is also.
You said no then. It's okay, fine, no problem. So everything is copy pasting, right? So SQL also will come. Now customer wants to use this machine for some other reason. Now, if you hand over this machine as it is, then he will ask why you are copying SQL again. Why you are giving me a machine with SQL? I don't want this SQL. You have to uninstall it again. Okay, customer is not will not be happy with you, and you have to take some extra time and uninstall. So that means when you are creating a new VM, if you are sure there is nothing inside that, you can clone. As an VMware administrator, let's say even I'm working on our labs every day. I don't know what is running inside the virtual machine. They might be using it for storing some application. I don't know what data they have stored. I'll show you how it looks like. Even though every day I'm using lab, I know very well about each machine. So let's say our students might have copied, let's say lab VM01. I don't know what is there inside that machine. If I clone, that unnecessary data also will come. I just want a plain machine without any data, plain OS only I need. But when I clone this machine, right now it's disconnected, it will not clone. Okay, so okay, so I don't know what is running inside the machine. In day-to-day job also, as a VMware administrator, we don't know what will be running inside the VMs. It's not our response. We don't need to worry about what is running inside the VMs. If VMs are up and running fine, then good. Our job is done. Our job is to make sure the VMs are running. Okay. If they are not powering on, not powering off, something harm, then we will help them. If there is OS is up and running inside the operating system, they have some issues. We don't need to worry. Like, what is the operating system? Windows team will take care. If it is Linux machine, Linux team will take care. If it is Windows, Windows team will take care. There will be a separate team to manage the guest OS. What is guest OS? Where it will be
Virtual
installed,
OS.
guest OS.
Virtual OS.
Operating system installed virtual machines. It's called guest OS.
Next one.
Yeah. That's okay. I don't know, like let's say this is there. I don't know what data they have placed inside it. Okay, so like that. So if you clone that, unnecessary data also will copy. That's the drawback of this cloning, but depends on situation. Let's say customer wants to some apply some critical changes inside this machine. You feel that it is risky to apply those critical changes. During well, let's say they're applying some critical changes inside the application. What if this crashes? If it is not working, this entire machine will go waste, right? Again, he has to build new VM. That will take a lot of time. Until then, that business application will be down. To avoid that, what they will do, right? They will ask us to clone. Exactly, let's say SQL itself. I don't know what is the latest. Okay, 2016 is there. SQL 2016 is there. Customer is planning to upgrade it to 2019. It's a critical upgrade, 2016 to 2019. Only database upgrade. During that upgrade, if it fails, all the dependent applications on this database will stop working. It will not work with older 16 database. It will not work with 19 database because during critical upgrade, it failed. Some critical stage, it failed. It cannot work with older version. It cannot work with latest version also. So when they are doing such critical upgrades, they will ask us to clone. Just clone this machine, don't power on and all. At that situation, we will just copy paste this in clone. So the what will happen in this machine, SQL 2016 will be there, and he will plan upgrade from 2016 to 2019. If it is not working fine, let's say it's corrupted in between, this machine is wasted. Then what he has to do to quickly? Yeah, this VM he will start using it. He will find the reason for failure later and come with a better plan later. But this machine is ready, right? So he start using exactly same machine, right? So such situations they will be asking us to clone these kind of use cases. An application team or OS team, when they're performing some major changes, they'll ask us to keep clone and keep it. We will clone and power off. We do not power on. Leave powered off. Fine. And if I ask you to create a
Yes.
sorry,
We had before we have cloning, no sir. Original system, virtual system is there. No, we should create first that one. No, cloning means
I'm not getting.
duplicating.
Yeah, this virtual machine will be there. We are creating another copy. This is clone
Original first
machine.
one. That
This is
one we have
original
to
one.
create.
This is clone one.
First one we should create that one. First
It's there. Like,
machine.
I'm talking about existing VM, right? That means it is there from long time.
Existing one.
Yeah. We have to clone from this original VM.
From that one. Okay.
Correct. Okay. Both will be there.
And also we
this
can't
will be-
create and also we can't create with two different OS already we have created with 2016. So with help of clone, so we can't create 2019, right? So we can't
Yeah.
copy, right?
Correct. Exactly. So he's trying to say it has 2016 operating system, right? When I clone, I'll get 2016 copy only. It's not like 2019 copy. Correct, right? That's what you are trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, fine. Okay. So when you clone a machine, whatever the operating system that is there, the same operating system will be there in the cloned machine also. If there is any data or application, that data also will be placed here. Okay. Understood the cloning? Okay. Now, well, select a virtual machine, right click on it. See, you'll see an option called clone. Clone to a VM. Name it. Enter a new name for the virtual machine. Select the ESXi machine. Storage where you want to place. We'll discuss. What is this customization here?
ఇప్పుడు క్లోన్ చేసేటప్పుడు ఆ ఎగ్జాక్ట్ డేటా అనేది ఇప్పుడు కాపీ అవుతుంది కదా ఆ మధ్యలో మనం కస్టమైజ్ చేసుకోవచ్చా అంటే మెమరీ హార్డ్ డిస్క్ చేయడం
During cloning, right? Cheyochu, but normally do it later. During cloning, we don't recommend. That's less than 1 minute of task. He is asking me like, it has 4 GB RAM. During cloning, can I make it 8 GB? Yes, it's possible, but normally we don't do that. We just clone it. Later we modify. It's allowed. It's recommended. Best practice. That's fine. All good. We can do, but normally we don't do. After cloning, we modify whatever it needs. It's less than 10 seconds of task, even not even minutes. Okay. If you want to increase RAM, CPU, hard disk, it's less than 1 minute of task only. So normally we don't do during the cloning. We can't change anything inside the OS, inside the machine also. RAM, CPU, disk we can modify, but inside the VMDK file, if there is any data, we can. That means like if it is 2016 only will be copied from this machine. And this is the navigation to clone a virtual machine. So we'll see here. This is big VM. It will take time. Okay, this is smaller one. I'll select this one because I can select smaller 592 MB here. This much is the data inside the VM. If you select DC, it is having 16 GB around. Okay, I'm selecting this one, smaller one. It will be quick. Right click on it, clone to virtual machine. These options we will discuss later. So clone to virtual machine. New name here A1. It's a virtual machine name. Inside in the vCenter, display name of the virtual machine is A1. I want to make it to A1 clone because I want to know, right? Like okay, so it's cloned from that machine. Normally, let's say I'll make it E2 itself. If I make A1 minus clone, you can easily understand that's cloned from A1. Let's say if I say A2, next, select the ESXi machine where you want to place. Warning, that's fine. It's saying like network is connected to different network, which is not available. That's fine. Where you want to place, wherever you have enough free space. Check, look at the free. Select hard disk. Check is green. Compatibility is green. Fine. Proceed. Here you can see virtual mesh, customize virtual machine hardware. You can modify RAM, CPU, disk if you want. But normally we don't do this thing here. We'll see the other guest OS customization. Okay, there is nothing available. It should be copied even before. We'll discuss what is that customization. And I don't want to power on after clone. I'll leave everything. Finish. It's 500 MB, right? It will be very quick. One less than a minute only it will be done. Okay. It depends on the data on the source machine. If there is like 100 GB data, it may take 30 minutes. Depends on data on the source also. Okay, let it clone. This name is display name. Inside if you log into the vCenter, here you see the VM name. Every virtual machine will have one name inside the operating system also. From the guest OS, there will be one name that you see here. DNS name. So inside the operating system, name of this computer is localhost.bb router. Name of the machine inside the operating system. That is the actual name. This is not the actual name. This is just display name. You can change it anything, my VM, your VM, whatever it is. This is the very important one. Okay, DNS name, the name of the virtual machine inside, very important. Day-to-day job, it will be helpful for you. If I see DC, select DC. It is also dc.svitlab.net. We will see what is this thing later. But before the dot, it should be exactly the same. Normally in day-to-day job, the display name and the name inside the OS, it will be same. Okay. Let's say customers doesn't know what is the name in the vCenter. He will ask, hey, can you power off my machine, which is named as DC? He is referring to this machine, this name DC. Okay, you need to find correct machine and do. Let's say this machine has a DC, but you are powering up. This machine has something. Let's say I'll rename it here. Just okay, here it shows like DC1, but inside the OS it is DC. If you ask you to power, can you power up DC machine? Where is the DC machine? There is no DC at all. Okay, so he will be referring to this guest OS name because it has very important. That's why I'm stressing it. This guest OS name. You'll see it here. This is this display name. Here it may be. Let's say VM45. If you clone, what will be the name here? Display name is V2, A2 we have given. What will be the name inside? VM45 only. Now you understood, right? Two type of names for a virtual machine. Display name, inside the OS name. It's called host name. It doesn't mean like our ESX host name. Okay, ESX host name is different. When somebody is referring to virtual machine and something you're in discussion and it came host name, that means OS name, guest OS name of that particular virtual machine. Okay, host name. But you know the situation about like which object you are discussing. If you are discussing with your friend about ESXi machine and you are calling host name, that's a ESXi name again. Do not confuse. It's about your communication. Technically, it's called host name. Virtual machine, yes, a host name. Now, once you clone, everything will be same. This name, data, everything, data and all, that's fine. But the problem is VM name, that means guest OS name. I'll say here, host name. Host name means guest OS, name inside the guest OS. Okay. And IP address. As of now, if you are aware of IP address, that's fine. Otherwise, we have a separate 2 days topic about IP address. So I'll give some basic example to understand this IP address. It's like a mobile number for human, IP address for a computer. Okay. Let's say if I want to talk to this virtual machine, I will use its IP address if I want to communicate anything with respect to this machine. Okay. IP address is network address. Normally it's called network address. We have 2 days topic about it. We'll understand it better later during the networking basics. Okay. It's like, let's say if I want to talk to Venkat, I should have his mobile number. Okay. And that mobile number is unique within India. India is one telecom network, right? Even though there are different states, different vendors also like Jio, Airtel, VI, different vendors are there. In different states are there. Still, they use uniqueness. Okay, that means once a mobile number is issued to somebody, okay, nobody will issue it again until it is valid. If there someone is using it, nobody will use it again. Here also the same. Once you assign any IP address, it should not be used to any other device within that network. Within our lab, we should not use it. The IP address which we are using, right, 192.168.1.200, it should not use to any other virtual machine. In the next building, they will have separate network. They can use again because that's a different network, right? Outside India, it's a different network. They can use same numbers there. That's so their own local network. Okay. Select that IP address. It's a network address, and there is very important component called security identifier. Even though there is unique host name and unique IP address, unique SID is also very important. Okay. In India, again, if you consider as a one network, we have other name, even unique mobile number, unique bank address, bank account number, anything like all the address, everything we have unique details. Still, we have other number which links all that information, all your bank accounts, your income, whatever liabilities, everything will be linked there. Okay, you have an identity, security identity, which is Aadhaar number for us. Here also the same for any virtual machine, any not virtual machine, the guest OS. Okay, Windows operating system. SID is very important. It will have the same like our security features belongs to an individual, right? It will have all the information about that virtual machine. And these three information should not be same for any two devices in a network. Like if you have same mobile number and same other number to somebody else within India, we know what will happen, right? If you do something criminal things and all, right, people will whom should they catch? Maybe miscommunication, so they will catch a different guy, okay, which should not happen. Here also the same thing. You're trying to work with one virtual machine, another virtual machine will be responding, or both will not be responding. Miscommunication will be there. So that's why once you clone a virtual machine, these three also will copy as it is because we are copying. This information will be inside the guest OS, inside that VMDK file. So we are not. It's not possible to change during cloning. In fact, here it is possible. This is called customization. During customization, you can change them, or if you know how to change them separately, you can skip it here and you can do it later. Later means immediately during the next power run, you have to fix it. You should not power on and leave both VMs as it is, right? So these three changing of these three values is called customization, and customization is mandatory once you clone. Changing of host name, IP address, and SID. Any two devices, even if let's say I have one Windows machine, another one is Linux machine, can I use same IP address? No. I have one virtual machine, I have another physical machine. It's virtual, that's physical. So can I use same IP? No. Okay. I have a printer and virtual machine. Can I use any whatever it may be? If it is in one network, you should not use it again. Once it is used, that's it used. You have to take it different one. Okay. Same like our mobile number, IP address. Remember? Same like our mobile number. Once it is issued to somebody, it should not be used again. Clear? And these three values we should change. I'll show you later like how to change these three values. As of now, we will understand clone. Okay, but it depends on the use case. You have to customize. Okay, so if for some reason to upgrade from SQL 2016 to 2019, you should not customize. Clone and keep it because if something goes bad with this machine, you want to use this machine. So don't customize. Okay, like that. Let's say you want two SQL, you're installing fresh copy of virtual machine, then and you install 2016, and application team or database team they have installed 2016. Now customer is asking, I need another copy of machine with SQL 2016. Then you can clone and customize. Depends on the use case. You don't need to worry. The situation will come. You will be able to understand whether you need to customize or not. Okay, so but you should be knowing what is customization, how to do it. Okay. Clear? Any questions? Fine. Once it is cloned, cloning is completed, and there will be no relation between these two machines. Let's say after cloning, you place some, let's say 1 GB of movie file here. It will be here only. It will not replicate here. Cloning complete అయిపోయిన తర్వాత ఏం డేటా ఇక్కడ ప్లేస్ చేసినా అక్కడే ఉంటుంది. Let's say if If you place something here, 10 gigs of data, it will be here only. It will not go back to original machine. There will be no relation at all. Once you clone, there will be no relation. There are two separate machines. That's it. Okay. In fact, we cannot identify from where you have cloned. If a customization was completed, we cannot identify from where you have cloned. If customization is not done, then based on IP address, we can identify. Because this machine also will have same IP, another machine also will have same IP, same host name it will have. We can easily identify. But once the customization is completed, we cannot identify from where you have cloned. Yeah, they are two separate machines. Whatever you copy here, it will be there only. Whatever you copy here, it will be there only. And before cloning, if you place anything, that also will be copied. Okay, cloning kante mundu ఏదైనా ప్లేస్ చేస్తే అది కూడా కాపీ అవుతుంది. Fine. Clear? Any question? Okay, so we'll see here that machine cloning was completed, still cloning 92%. 92%. And very important, how to check host name of a virtual machine, any OS.
DC వన్ అని
Hmm.
ఇక్కడ DC అని
Hmm.
అని ఎలా సెర్చ్ చేయాలి ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ అంటే కొన్ని ఉన్నాయి అక్కడ థౌసండ్స్ ఆఫ్ ఉంటాయి.
If you know the IP address, like earlier with IP address we were not able to search. Now with IP also we can search. Earlier ఇలా వచ్చేది కాదు. Now it's possible. And DC it will not give. IP వస్తుంది కానీ ఇది రాదు, DC అనేది రాదు. Even with name it's leading. So it will help you. Global search will help you now. If you type DC, DC1. No, this is not actual DC name.
Yeah, DC వన్ ఇక్కడ ఉంది.
I'll rename it to something else. DC అని ఉంది కాబట్టి అది చూపిస్తాను. There is a DC, right? I'll completely make something. See, it's not showing, but with IP it will show. Still assigned to the same machine, it's showing this IP belongs to this. If you know that machine name, IP address, then you can search. Otherwise, yeah, good question again. Like I know the only DC, I don't know the IP address. Okay. There are ways with, if you know the name, you can find IPs, and with IP you can search. Before that, with that name only, if you want to search, you can do still. Select the cluster. Okay, just ES6i host for some. As of now, I'll tell you this trick. It is applicable to any other object here also. So select any one of the ES6i machine. Go to virtual machines tab. You can drag and drop these tabs, okay, here and there. Okay, these are visible, right? There is no OS name also, right?
Yes.
So here we have a drop down option. Click here. It will show or hide columns anywhere, not only the first one. Here also the same thing, or here also the same thing. Same wizard will display. Here there will be something called DNS name. That's what you know as of now. I know only DNS name, right? So enable it. It was disabled. Enable it. Here it shows, right? Just drag here. It's easy to compare. That's why I'm dragging. Otherwise, no need. Okay. Now, DC new test 2 has a different name. You know the DC, right? Search here. DC is here.
But there are also some governance of DMs there. Okay.
Filter. When you like, we have no other option. It's not giving with a, here we can't fill the DNS name also. Why it did not do earlier?
It's here actually.
Yeah, it's with DNS name you can filter it here. Okay, filter option is here. Fine. Fine. So now inside the OS it is DC. Out inside the vCenter it's VM678. So you can find this way. Instead of selecting the host, you select the parent object of this host. As of now, we call it cluster. Select cluster, do the same thing. Our data center, do the same thing. Or if there are a lot of data centers, select vCenter, virtual machines, do the same thing. It applicable?
It's easy, huh?
Yeah, it's easy. You know, like how to enable that respective column
Yeah.
and filter with it. You get it. Fine. These tips will help you in day-to-day job very quickly. So nobody will write in the blogs or okay, until someone explains like this, you will not come to know this. Because of disk space, it is failing. It's waiting. This this space is full. It's not enough. It's waiting for some answer. Space is not there. Which one is running? It's failed because of space issue. Okay, that's fine. We'll see that later. So, fine. Got it. Has some different issue. So, any questions from cloning?
So this VM due to space issue, it was failure, right? So what will you do in this case? Is it possible to extend the space or what?
Yeah, like you need to while cloning itself, right? Let's say while cloning itself. Sorry. You have to select whichever the disk storage space has enough free space. Here, I'll show you where it is. Here, wherever there is enough free space, you can select that.
So what in case, Anna, like a customer has requested particular, uh, this one data store. So we need to create in an particular data store only, but we don't have enough space and space on that particular data store. So what will you do?
Yeah, so customer will not specify this hard disk location. Wherever you have enough free space, you can create there. Let's say you are in a situation nowhere is free space is there. Okay, all the
Okay,
data stores are full. You don't have enough space in any of the data store. Then we have to talk
okay,
to the storage team and connect add more space. There is separate topic about it. We will understand during that
okay,
storage topic.
okay, okay. Yeah, sure.
How to talk to the storage team, what information we have to give, what information they will give, what we have to do next. Those things and all we'll discuss during the storage topic.
Sure, I'm fine.
Okay,
Thanks.
system name is there is నుంచి search చేయొచ్చా?
అది గ్లోబల్ సెర్చ్ చేస్తే ఎక్కడైనా అంతే నువ్వు ఇక్కడ ఎంటర్ చేస్తున్నావు అంటే ఈవెన్ దో యూ సెలెక్టెడ్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ హియర్ అండ్ యూఆర్ సర్చింగ్ ఫ్రమ్ హియర్ ఇట్ మీన్స్ ఇట్స్ గ్లోబల్ సెర్చ్ దట్ మీన్స్ ఫ్రమ్ వి సెంటర్ ఓన్ ఇట్స్ నాట్ ఫ్రమ్ దిస్ స్పెసిఫిక్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్
If I didn't select any,
దిస్ ఈస్ ఓవరాల్ వి సెంటర్
okay, entire wherever it shows.
wherever it is it will show.
Okay.
This is global. That means ఈ vCenter connect అయింది vCenter లో ఎక్కడున్నా చూపిస్తుంది. Even there is a topic we will discuss in the advanced topic. There will be 2 to 3 vCenters will connect here. Even if it is in any of the vCenter, it will display here.
Okay.
So 3 vCenters will connect here. That's a new feature we will discuss later. And if you search here, if it is presented from any vCenter, it will display. That's called linked mode. We will discuss later. Any other question? Normally within this
Like,
duration, I used
is
to
it